Hey there, it's Seaton. As some of you may or may not know, I've been wearing fig fragrances for almost 20 years, and it's one of my favorite accords. So I've been asked to show my fig fragrance collection, so here is the majority of them, and they're, I think, over 20, so I'm going to start right away. And I am sort of loosely ranking them by the criteria of how much I like them. My criteria is I like a really ripe, juicy, jammy, almost caramelized fig, because I like to eat figs. And the thing with fig fragrances is that, like, when people say fig, they kind of mean like everything about the fig tree, including the fig leaf and the fig tree, as well as the fruit. While when I talk about fig, just really am talking about fig, the fruit, and that is annoying to me because, you know, I could stand fig leaf because it does smell a bit like the fig fruit while being kind of greenish, you know, as a leaf. But like, I don't like fig tree. I don't like fig tree enough that, like, I try to actively avoid fragrances that have fig tree because fig trees are very different from fig fruit. They're a very weird smelling wood fragrance. They naturally have some sort of dust on them, and you could actually smell the dusty wood on most fig wood fragrances, and I don't find that appealing. So I'm gonna go on by the criteria of basically two things: how much I like the fig fragrance, you know, for whatever reason, and then number two, like, you know, just exactly how good I think the fragrance is as on its own, regardless of how much fig it has or how quote unquote figgy it is. Okay, so like the first two I'm showing are Verdun, Figuier, and Sichuan on the left, and Caudalie, Vigne on the right. I'm placing these two together because these are both aromatic, spicy fragrances that pair fig leaf and rose together, and the spices in them kind of run like masculine to me, so they don't appeal to me as much. You know, they almost border on medicinal. This one, the Caudalie, is by noted perfumer François Caron. Okay, so on to the next one. My next least favorite fig fragrance is Roger and Gallet Figuier, Fleur de Figuier. Okay, and this is a pretty famous one because it was created by noted perfumer Francis Kirk de Jean. You know, and like, you know, truthfully, I think that, like, it's popular because, one, it's affordable, and two, is a Francis Kirk de Jean fragrance. Otherwise, I don't think it's as popular as it's going to be, because if you look at the reviews of this Fragrantica, I'm going to call it Fragrantica from now on. Half of the reviews on this, you know, say how fresh it is, you know, how true fig it is, while I'm on the other camp saying that this has a weird jammy, rotten fruit vibe going on that ruins the fig fragrance for me. Also, it's not very much, I don't really smell the fig fruit as much as I smell the fig leaf. To me, it's a fig leaf fragrance with caraway in it. And like caraway, I found out, is probably the accord that is giving that overripe, rotten fruit, weird licorice scent that people who don't like this fragrance are complaining about. I elaborate further on my review on Fragrantica on this. It also has like a grapefruit opening, which is like one of my least favorite citrus openings. Okay, next, I guess this is where, if I had a bottle, which I don't, I would put Atelier Cologne Figuier Ardent. I just happen to have a small sample of it. Let me see if you can see that. Okay, so I've tested it out several times, and this is an okay fig fragrance. You do get fig upon the opening, but it's soon overtaken by the black pepper, accord in this. And the people who don't like this fragrance, and it doesn't get good reviews on Fragrantica, complain about the black pepper overtaking the fragrance. I mean, to me, this is a fig and black pepper, fig leaf, not really much fig, the fruit, fig leaf and black pepper fragrance to me. Okay, next is Lucy B. Oh my God, I forgot the name because it's long. Royal Green Fig and Vanilla Woods. I have the old bottle, which I believe is, it's 50 ml, 1.5 ounce approximately. The new bottles are 2 ounces. But the design of them are still the same. They have this decal on both sides. This one is a very green, oily fragrance. It has green coconuts, green figs, and the coconut has like an oily vibe to it. And if it wasn't green enough, it has an actual accord of green notes in it. So it's just very, very green and oily to me. The fig in this is okay, but again, it's green figs, not the really ripe mission figs that I like. Okay, next is, this one is an obscure fragrance. You could barely recognize it. It's Speciali Florentini Fig and Hoppy. You pretty much could only get it in Florence and also by chance on Amazon.com, which is where I got it. It's in a refillable bottle, and this bottle leaked, which is why the label is pretty much gone. But if you read the copy on this, it's supposed to be like the feeling of being underneath the fig tree. It is a very woody fragrance, but it doesn't smell like fig tree to me. It smells something really richer, denser, deeper, like, I don't know, sort of like oud, maybe cypress, I don't know. It does not feel it does not smell like fig tree, and there is no fig to fruit. You know, as for the poppy, it may or may not have poppy, but all I do is smell the wood. The reason why I have this higher than some of the others is like if you just want like a straight up wood fragrance, that has like a tinge of floral in the background, this isn't bad. I mean, this as a wood fragrance is nice. It's just that as a fig fragrance, I don't smell the fig. Okay, next up is, okay, this is, I only have the body spray. It did come in a perfume, and it's Flower, the Drew Barrymore cosmetic line, Turquoise by Flower. And I just got this because this is like a watery floral you know, body mist. It says that it has primary 3 notes, which is blue lotus, honeydew blossom, and fig wood. It does not really smell like the fig tree, but as like, you know, an aquatic body spray that that does not smell like the usual Victoria's Secret's fruity floral fragrance. I like it, and the body spray does have a better review than the actual perfume, the Eau de Parfum. That's all I'm going to say about that. Okay, and then next is, okay, I have Korres Fig Cologne right here, and I have Provence Santé Fig on the right. I'm grouping these two together because these are both natural brands. Korres is a Greek pharmacy natural brand, and this one is a spa natural brand, a little bit obscure. You can find it at Amazon.com though. And these two, I don't know if it's because they're natural or what, but like they open with this really pungent scent that I could only describe as apricot gasoline. You know, this one is supposed to have an opening note of tangerine and blanking, but I think it's grapefruit. It doesn't smell like that. It smells sort of smells like apricot-y maybe. And like I didn't think anything of it except that this one does also. And the third fragrance that I found that has fig in it, that smells like that, is not a natural brand. It is a flanker of Mugler Womanity called Womanity Pour L. And that one is supposed to have strawberry in it. And that is the same accord that I smell in this and this. The reason why I got this one is this one has tobacco in it. It's supposed to be a tobacco and fig fragrance. And like after 30 minutes, when it calms down, it does become a tobacco fig fragrance. And the dry down is really nice on this. I just have to go through that apricot gasoline opening in order to get to it. But, you know, I think it's almost worth it. But I'm going to try to find something that does have tobacco and fig elsewhere. I have been looking, and like I might mention one that I found. Anyway, this one does not have tobacco. It has apple in it. I guess maybe I could smell it. But this basically smells like natural, unripe fig and fig leaf. It doesn't say that it has fig leaf, but I'm pretty sure it's fig leaf. Next is Comptoir Sur Pacific Coco Figue. It's coconut and fig. Not one of my favorites. I don't really the coconut in this doesn't really smell sweet. It's an unsweetened coconut, which is kind of surprising. Okay, let me see. Next would be, if I had the bottle, but the bottle is still stuck at my parents' house, would be Philosophy Vanilla Fig. The fig in that one, which you could see the bottle in my my review of Philosophy Pure Grey Summer Moments, which is coming up. You can see the bottle of that in that video, and I compared it to that, so you can watch that. I'll link it below if you want to take a look at it. Now, you're probably wondering, where is the diptych? Where is the Fico di Amalfi by Acqua di Parma? And you're not going to see it in this video, so you can turn it off if you want, okay? Both the Diptyque and the Fico di Amalfi have fig tree in it, so I don't really like it that much, although I can appreciate the Diptyque as a light fragrance, as a fragrance, but not as a fig fragrance, if you understand the differential. The Fico di Amalfi, I would have to revisit again because, when I first tested it out, it was not figgy enough for me. People say, oh my God, this is a juicy fig. And I would say, no, I don't really smell the fig. I smell mostly the fig leaf, the fig tree. So again, the fig tree is ruining the fragrance for me. And, and like most of the more famous fig fragrances, I have tried, okay? So don't ask me about this and this. I've tried pretty much all of them, okay? The Besa, it smells like grass. Hermes, Un Jardin du Méditerranée. It has a musk in it that turns really salty on me. Mugler Womanity is a little bit too masculine. Labo Thé Noir 29. It's supposed to be unisex fragrance. I find it too masculine. That one does have fig and tobacco in it, but again, too masculine. Jo Malone, Wild Fig, and Cassis. I don't really like Cassis that much, and I find that a woody fragrance. Okay, so next from my collection is Lisa Hoffman Tuscan Fig. When you have been trying fig fragrances like I have, there are certain combinations that are very popular. This one has fig, the fruit, plus jasmine and coconut. And I do smell all three notes. And, it made me realize that I don't really like a jasmine and fig combination, because like jasmine is a very pungent floral, and I think it overtakes the fig a bit. So, as a fragrance, it's okay as a coconut fragrance, but like as a fig fragrance, it's not my favorite. Next is Soli Notes Fleur de Figuier. It's supposed to be a Soli note, but it's actually not a Soli note. This one has a grapefruit opening. It has fig leaf, and a few other things. As like a fig, as a fragrance that smells like twigs, and a little bit of fig is nice. Once I got over the disappointment that it doesn't really smell like a juicy fig fruit, I think as a fragrance on its own, it's you know, it's nice, and I usually try to like you know, layer it as you're supposed to with this line with sometimes grapefruit to amp up the grapefruit in it, because that's like, you know, I mean, like, you know, that's pretty much what I smell for the most part, you know, upon you know, spraying. And then, you know, I'm not really interested in, like, you know, the green woody aspects of it. Next is Elizabeth Arden Green Tea Fig. As a fragrance on its own, it's okay, but if I were to take it as a criteria of it as a green tea fig fragrance or as a fig fragrance, it's not quite as interesting to me because I don't find it figgy enough or green tea enough. You know, I think together, the blend is not quite it's not quite as addictive as I would think, since tea and fig are my favorite notes. Next is Maison Lancome Figuier and Agrumes, which is citrus. This one also has jasmine in it, and again, the jasmine fig combo is not my favorite. I think the jasmine overtakes the fig. This is the design, which is not of figs like it should be. Next is Agent Provocateur Electric. I've talked about this fragrance a few times in my video, specifically the 343 tag, so I won't go into it much. It's a lime and fig fragrance, great for summer. Next, I have Berdu 1902 Cologne White Fig. I'm ranking this above the Agent Provocateur because this one has I think bergamot and fig, and you can smell both equally. And since I like bergamot more, then I like lime. I like this one more, even though it's not nearly have the same longevity, because it's the cologne as the electric, which is, I believe, is the Eau de Parfum. Next is Versace VS Anse. This is supposed to have fig in it. I don't smell the fig in it, but as like a fresh green fragrance with a citric opening. I love it. I really, really like it. I didn't realize from watching reviews on YouTube that how close it is to Elizabeth Arden green tea, which I love, except for one review who also remarked upon it. I believe his name is Joe Amin. I'll link to his video in the description box below. But I like the opening of this one more than the Elizabeth Arden green tea, but I like the dry down of the green tea more. So I usually layer these both. Next is Philosophy Pure Gray Summer Moments. I've already done a video review of this, so I won't be talking about it. I'll link to the video below if you want to take a look at it. Next is Bronze Goddess Azure by Estee Lauder. This one has neroli. Well, actually, neroli is not listed, but But like if you look at the reviews on Fragrantica, everybody is saying there's a neroli fragrance, and like I pretty much agree. You know, it's the neroli is quite strong in this, and it also has coconut and fig. I smell the neroli, then the coconut, then the fig. The fig is there. Some people say they don't really smell that much fig, but actually I do, and I really like it because it does have some of my favorite notes in it. I think this is a great flanker, and it just came out this year. Okay, sorry that I'm taking so long. I'm a little bit disoriented because I just have this all in the bag. Okay, so these four are my top fig fragrance that I love. You know, it kind of goes like, you know, back and forth between which one I love more on any given day. So I'm just going to group them all together like this. This one is the Kindred Goods Sea Salt and Fig. It has been talked about many times by me and on YouTube. Not going to talk about it. This is Calypso St. Bart's Fig. And then these two, unfortunately, are discontinued. Womp womp. This one, which is Bath and Body Works Brown Sugar and Fig Eau de Toilette, it's not quite the same as the body mist that they reissue every year for the holidays. Besides, you know, ripe fig fruit, brown sugar, caramel, vanilla, passion fruit. It also has amber in it, which gives it some depth. It was my favorite fig fragrance for a long time, but like I've kind of matured from it. So, you know, I actually like something like this more, which is the Henry Bendel Wild Fig Eau de Toilette. This one, you know, Henry Bendel, the company, has gone kaput. So, and this fragrance, you know, goes for beaucoup bucks on eBay. But you know, most people think of fig fragrances as like a summer fragrance, but I actually wear this only in the fall and winter because this is a deeper, more perfume-like fig fragrance. I mean, you definitely smell the sweet, ripe fig, which I love, but it's not nearly as sweet as something like this one. Because it also has sandalwood and anise. It also has coconut. So it's like, you know, I usually wear it when I go out to dinner, or, you know, again, in the winter, sometimes in the fall. You know, I'm kind of like savoring my bottle. But, you know, once it's gone, unless I want to overprice on eBay. Okay, so that is it. Sorry, I thought that maybe this was going to go long, but I didn't know that it was going to go as long as this. So I'm just going to end it here. If you like this video, please subscribe, like, and comment. Until next time, this is Seaton. Bye.